South-South and Triangular Cooperation Conference, which also marks the 10th anniversary of the FAO China South-South Cooperation Program on the future perspectives of the South-South and Triangular Cooperation. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite our hosts, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Vincent Bamlanga Kisempija, to make remarks and take over this opening ceremony. Over to you, Honorable.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my brothers, the UN Envoy for South-South Cooperation, my brother George, our Director, Regional Director for Africa, South-South Cooperation, my brother Abebe, our Director for Economic Affairs in the Ministry of Agriculture, Rural Affairs, People's Republic of China, Mr. Yi Yang, Your Excellency, we have delegates from 10 countries here, and Your Excellency, I will introduce them to you before I say something. Your Excellency, we want to welcome you, sir, and thank you very much for sparing time for this very important occasion today of opening the conference on South-South Cooperation and the Triangular Cooperation. And Your Excellency, as I will later on brief you, sir, some of the delegates here will also join in the FOCAC meeting conference, which will be opened on Thursday, that is after tomorrow. But Your Excellency, allow me to introduce to you, Sir, Mr. George Chedik, the UN South-South Cooperation Director and Envoy of the Secretary General on the South-South Cooperation. Please stand up. He is seated just next to you, sir. Allow me to introduce to you Mr. Abebe Haile Gabriel, the FAO Assistant Director General, and he is the Regional Director representing Africa. Mr. Yi Yang, the Director General of Foreign Economic Cooperation Center of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs of the People's Republic of China, Mara. Mr. Yi Yang is seated here. Mr. Tang Shengayo, Director Office of the South-to-South and FAO Triangular Cooperation. Mr. Dominic Bourgeois, Director Resilience, FAO, and Mr. Antonio Prado, Director Interim, FAO. Dr. Mrs. Enida Rodriguez, Special Advisor of the Ministry to the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, Cape Verde. Dr. Wu Lifeng, Director, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs of the People's Republic of China. Pao Zhu, Director General, Freshwater Fisheries Research Center of the Chinese Academy of the Fishery Sciences. Wang Dengshan, Director General, Biogas, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, People's Republic of China. His Excellency Zheng Zhu Qiang, Chinese Ambassador to Uganda. Mr. Weng Wei, Director General of Global Engagement and South-South Cooperation, combining FAO and IFAD. Your Excellency, the UN representatives in Uganda are here. May I request all of them to stand up for recognition. The UN representatives in Uganda. Your Excellency, you have countries here represented. China is represented by a high-powered delegation. China delegation, please stand up. May you please stand up. Saudi Arabia is represented, Your Excellency. India, let me just read them. India, because there is interpretation which is taking long. India, Djibouti, Burkina Faso, Kenya, South Africa, USA, Sudan, Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Mongolia, Madagascar, Zambia, Laos, Syria, United Kingdom, Brazil, Nigeria, Italy, Cape Verde, Malawi, Sierra Leone, Morocco, Sri Lanka, Comoros, Canada, Thailand, Switzerland, Netherlands, Egypt, France, and Uganda. May I request the Ugandans to stand up, please. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture, Alimentation and Fisheries, and on my own behalf, I welcome you, sir, and welcome all our visitors to this very important global event. I wish to thank the Chinese government and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations for granting Uganda the distinguished privilege of being the host of the 10th anniversary of the FAO China South-South Cooperation Program and the Triangular Cooperation, and of course the 2019 FOCAC Africa-China Poverty Reduction and Development Conference. Your Excellency, I extend utmost gratitude and a warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you very much for sparing your valuable time to come today to launch the anniversary. First of all, to commemorate with us the 10th anniversary of the FAO China South-South Cooperation Program and the Triangular Cooperation, and also open this conference officially, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, as you are aware, sir, 50 years ago, the People's Republic of China was at the same level of economic development as Uganda that time, and other developing countries, especially in Africa and and Asia. Through concerted efforts, Your Excellency, China took deliberate steps using the agricultural sector to transform its economy by setting up favorable agricultural policies like land reforms, agricultural parks, and industrialization. These are measures that developing countries like Uganda are adapting to accelerate our development. We strongly believe that by working together with our Chinese friends through joint venture businesses, investment arrangements, and win-win cooperation, majority of African countries will quickly eradicate poverty. Your Excellency, over the years, China has made significant contributions to Uganda's agricultural sector development, including provision of project aid to Uganda in form of interest-free loans and grants. And Your Excellency, notable among these include the China-Uganda South-South Cooperation Project, now in its third phase. Your Excellency, the rest, of course, the others you know even better than ourselves. The government of Uganda, and indeed the Ministry of Agriculture, is profoundly grateful to the People's Republic of China for the support extended through the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, of the United Nations, and the Republic of Uganda for the implementation of the China-Uganda South-South Cooperation Project, now entering its third phase. The project has facilitated technology transfer and has enabled great improvements in the production and the productivity of crop, livestock, and fisheries subsectors in Uganda. It is therefore our hope, sir, that this transformative project will continue receiving support from the People's Republic of China. Your Excellency, through the FAO China South-South program, Uganda has greatly benefited from those projects, and we have been receiving support to implement strategies to enhance the agricultural sector, helping to resolve agricultural constraints, including low levels of production and productivity. And of course, profitability in the priority commodity crops, livestock, and fisheries. Your Excellency, I just want to mention to you, sir, that some of the technologies and crop varieties introduced through this South-South cooperation include value addition in beef and potatoes, foxtail millet, improved apple agronomy, hybrid rice, livestock feed processing and feeding, agromachinery, biogas, and rice fish culture. Your Excellency, in some of these, most of these varieties, sir, that have already gone through our research system, the Chinese consultants have been working with NARO, have been working with our technical team, and most of them, they have passed through our research systems. And you find that, for example, if I have to give you an example, sir, the foxtail millet variety the yield is 5 tons per hectare, while ours, sir, was between 1 and 2.5 tons. Rice is 5 times our yields, and sorghum and others, Your Excellency. So I just want to mention that on Wednesday, 27th, that is tomorrow, sir, we will be launching the new Chinese hybrid rice variety, DU 6363/2, which has been tested and evaluated here in Uganda by our National Agricultural Research Organization, together with Resolve Seed Company of the Republic of China. This important variety yields 10.5 metric tons per hectare, compared to what we had here of about 2.5 metric tons per hectare. So, Your Excellency, the cooperation is yielding good results for us, and I want to inform you, sir, that Uganda, in addition to the above achievements, the South-South cooperation has registered other successes, including getting the highest level of recognition, where the President of the Republic of Uganda also appreciated the President of the People's Republic of China, President Xi Jinping, who in turn gave a positive response. We have attained a model status and a FAO South-South Cooperation Project flagship country status. Uganda, we have received an award for the successful implementation of the South-South project during the Ministerial Forum on Global South-South Cooperation in Changsha, Hunan Province, China, in November 2018. And that was received by the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries for Uganda. Your Excellency, I want to conclude by saying that we recognize that the FOCAC, Africa-China Poverty Reduction and Development Conference, which is going to begin on 27th November 2019 and end on 29th November 2019, is a very important forum on Africa-China cooperation, and also provides a framework through which both China and Africa can coordinate the economic, political, and cultural and other aspects of their relations. We are happy, sir, to note that the FOCAC priorities also include agriculture as one of the areas of cooperation. And lastly, Your Excellency, we want to request you, sir, because FOCAC is yours, this is an umbrella and the all-embracing arrangement for China and African countries. You may, Your Excellency, we know your busy schedule, but on Thursday, sir, we request you most humbly to save time and come and open the FOCAC, since all the countries recognized your contribution in this agenda and chose to have the FOCAC in this country, sir. I humbly request you that you save on your busy schedule and be around to open the FOCAC meeting. Your Excellency, some of the dignitaries to attend that FOCAC are here, 70%, but they are the senior officials just coming in from today, and they also attend the FOCAC. But allow me to thank for today FAO for being our pusher. FAO is the pusher for this triangular cooperation. The triangular cooperation is the global southern countries and China. And I think those in FAO thought that China has made it, but it's among the South. Since it is prepared to share with us others who are coming up, to share their experiences and successes, FAO came in to push this cooperation, and we really want to thank them for moving us this far. may I request everybody to applaud FAO for those success. Your Excellency, allow me to thank you and your government for also pushing so much for this South-to-South cooperation and always educating us on how the developing countries should develop themselves and how they should cooperate. Your Excellency, we take your advice very seriously, and your books that you have written, we thank you very much, and I want everybody to applaud His Excellency the President. And lastly, allow me to thank the People's Republic of China for having been open and prepared to share with other developing countries the successes and all the processes they went through to be able to eradicate poverty among the population in China. Thank you very much, and we should thank the Chinese government. Your Excellency, with those few remarks, allow me to invite my brother Abebe to come and welcome you and greet you, and then he will then invite the UN envoy, and I will come back, sir, to invite you after the Director General. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Animal Resources and Fisheries of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Vincent Bamulangaki Sempija, distinguished Head of the Chinese delegation, Mr. Yi Yang, Director General of Economic Cooperation Center of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, People's Republic of China, Mr. George Shedek, UNESCO Director and Envoy of the Secretary General on South-South Cooperation, honorable members of Parliament and other government dignitaries of the Republic of Uganda, Excellencies, ambassadors, and heads of international organizations, dear colleagues, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, Dr. Chu Dongyu, I am honored to address you today as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the FAO China South-South Cooperation Program, reflecting on future perspectives for South-South and triangular cooperation. Your Excellency, the Director of FAO, Dr. Chu Dongyu, would have very much liked to join you here in this very important event. However, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, he could not make it. He has asked me to convey to Your Excellency his warm regards and gratitude for hosting a successful event to celebrate 10th anniversary of the FAO China South-South Cooperation Program and future perspectives for South-South and triangular cooperation. In addition, the FAO Assistant Director General in charge of partnerships, my colleague Ambassador Roberto Ridolfi, has also asked me to convey to Your Excellency a sincere personal apology for his inability to attend this important meeting. He has made all the necessary arrangements to travel, but due to circumstances beyond his control, he was not able to do so. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the celebration of this event coincides with the 40 years of technical cooperation between FAO and the government and people of the Republic of Uganda. The collaborations covered a wide range of areas in support of policy, capacity development, and investments for sustainable agriculture and food systems, as well as management of natural resources. I wish to commend the commitment of the leadership of the government of Uganda for the excellent partnerships with FAO and express our sincere gratitude for the trust placed upon FAO in the efforts towards addressing the challenges of agricultural and rural transformation in Uganda. We in FAO take this confidence very seriously, and I can assure you of FAO's continued commitment to live up to those expectations. Your Excellencies, South-South and triangular cooperation is one of the key priorities for FAO and an effective mechanism to deliver on its mandate. Over the years, FAO's expanded partnership, which has enabled a diversified South-South and triangular portfolio comprising policy support, knowledge and technical exchanges, capacity building and technology transfers, benefiting large number of developing countries. Through this mechanism, FAO has been able to facilitate South-South cooperation between China and Uganda with a focus on capacity building for national partners, planners, researchers, agriculture extension officers, and farmers. With South-South and triangular cooperation evolving over the years, new approaches and modality of cooperation have been adopted to reassert country ownership and leadership of programs. In this respect, I'm pleased to recognize the lead role that Uganda, like other few countries, have taken to adopt this new approach by setting up a unilateral trust fund to support agricultural development in Uganda. Uganda over the years has also been sharing its experiences with other developing countries within the region, which makes Uganda as excellent example for other countries to engage in South-South and triangular cooperation in the global South. I would like to congratulate Your Excellency and your government for such demonstration of ownership and leadership of the South-South Cooperation Program. FAO will continue to work together with the government and people of Uganda, as well as strives to mobilize effective partnerships to address the challenges faced by the agriculture and food systems. I'm pleased to inform Your Excellency that the Director General of FAO, Dr. Chu Dongyu, has launched an initiative called Hand in Hand Initiative, which aims to sharpen effective partnerships to bear on sustainable development goals achievements, particularly on ending hunger and poverty, while promoting mutual accountability for results. We look forward to continuing our cooperation and expanding and deepening our strategic partnerships in an inclusive and innovative manner to implement high-impact South-South and triangular cooperation. I thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to invite Mr. George Shedek, the UNOSC Director and Envoy of the Secretary General on South-South Cooperation, to make remarks.
Mr. President, Mr. Minister, Mr. Director General, colleagues, friends, when this event was organized and I received an invitation, I decided to attend. My mission is to promote South-South cooperation on behalf of the United Nations. South-South cooperation being an expression of solidarity between the peoples of the developing world to share with each other, to help each other in the process of development. And what we are commemorating in this event, the 10 years of collaboration between FAO and China, with emphasis in the collaboration that is being developed here in Africa, is an excellent example, an archetypical example on how South-South cooperation should be done and how South-South cooperation is making a difference. So therefore, we felt that it was very important to highlight this contribution. And the second reason I wanted to come here was to really express our gratitude to the government of Uganda for your great leadership in South-South cooperation. And I want to highlight that earlier this year we had a United Nations conference on South-South cooperation that took place in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. And there was a very difficult negotiating process to reach a document that we think is one that will really establish the framework for cooperation for the next few years. And I have to say that one of the co-facilitators of that document that led the process of negotiation, a very difficult one, but ultimately very successful one, was the permanent representative of the Republic of Uganda in New York, Ambassador Adonia Yebare. So his leadership was critical in us and the world having a global agenda for South-South cooperation and triangular cooperation to build the global goals and to achieve the objectives that we have established for ourselves. And finally, Mr. President, your leadership has also been recognized. And in the next few months, in April of next year, your country and you yourself will be hosting the South Summit, the summit of the Group of the 77 and China, that in spite of the name are not 77, but 135 countries of the Global South. And that, Mr. President, is a tribute again to the leadership of Uganda, and we're very confident that with your vision and with your commitment and with your working and engagement in this process, the South will emerge from that summit with a stronger agenda of collaboration and cooperation to build a better world for everybody. So again, thanks to FAO, thanks to the People's Republic of China, and thank you very much, Uganda, for your vision and your leadership.
Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Director General from the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs to come and address the gathering, and then later on I'll come back to invite you, sir. Director General.
谢谢部长先生，尊敬的总统阁下，非常高兴能够率中国代表团参加中国 FAO 南南合作10年的总结会。中国和 FAO 的合作已经有20多年的历史。2006年，中国政府就和 FAO 建立了战略合作关系。在20多年的合作过程当中，中国政府在非洲、亚洲、南太、拉美等20多个国家开展了南南合作。 在这个过程当中，我们派出了1000多名的专家和技术人员，我们传播了1000多项我们的技术，使我们很多的南南合作的国家解决了粮食安全，提升了农业生产能力和水平。在开展南南合作的过程当中，我们秉持实现3个目标：一是与受援国分享我们改革开放40多年来我们积累的先进实用的农业技术和我们取得成就的经验；第二个是要解决受援国粮食安全，提升农业生产的能力和水平。在这个过程当中，我们在传播技术的基础上实现了我们的目标。比如说在乌干达，我们开展的水稻合作，我们每公顷达到了9到10吨，是当地高产品种的3倍以上。第3个目标就是我们要通过南南合作，来进一步的推动双边的合作，使我们的南南合作能够可持续的这个发展。这20多年来，我们在这些区域开展的南南合作，得到了当地百姓的欢迎，得到了受援国政府的高度评价。尤其是在跟乌干达的这个南南合作的过程当中，2国元首都对我们的这个南南合作给予了充分的肯定，也对今后开展的南南合作做出了重要的指示。我想中国政府、中国的农业农村部会按照2国元首的指示，继续的推动做好我们下一期的南南合作。我想今后的南南合作应该在做好战略规划，了解受援国需求，传播好先进实用的农业技术，选派好专家团队上下功夫，让我们的南南合作在过去取得成效的基础上继续发挥作用，继续为广大的南南合作的这些国家解决好他们的粮食安全和提升农业生产的能力和水平。在这儿，我要再次感谢乌干达的总统阁下以及政府对我们中国和乌干达开展的南南合作给予的高度重视和各个方面的支持。我希望在过去支持的基础上，我们在开展3期的合作的这个框架下，继续得到总统和我们政府的支持。再次感谢这个总统阁下能够出席今天的这个庆祝会，和感谢乌干达的农牧渔业部对我们这次会议的这个周到的安排，也感谢 FAO 对南南合作的给予的大力支持。谢谢。
Your Excellency, sir, with those few remarks from us, allow me to invite you, sir, to come and address the gathering. Thank you very much. Can we please welcome His Excellency the President?
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture of Uganda and other ministers from Africa, the Deputy Director from FAO, the Special Representative of the Secretary General of the UN, the Director General of the Department of Cooperation in the Chinese Ministry of Commerce, and all the delegates who are here. You're most welcome to Uganda. China and Africa have been cooperating ever since 1949, when the communists took power in China. The communists came with a new approach in world affairs. At that time, Africa was under colonialism. The Chinese Communist Party did not agree with colonialism. They therefore joined the Soviet Union in supporting the anti-colonial movement. Until the last African country was liberated. This was in 1994, when South Africa gained majority rule. So we are therefore very grateful to China for their support in the anti-colonial struggle. After liberation, the Chinese government has been cooperating with African governments in terms of development. They have even opened their market on preferential terms in some of the products. They have also been cooperating with us in the area of infrastructure development and also in encouraging Chinese companies to come and invest in Africa, in Uganda. So again, we are very grateful to the Chinese government for those friendly actions. When it comes to agriculture, which is the topic of today, when you come to Uganda, you are in the right place, where crops grow easily than in many other parts of the world. Once I went to Sweden and I met the king of Sweden, who told me that a pine tree in Sweden takes 120 years to mature. Here in Uganda, a pine tree will be mature in 7 years. What takes the Swedish to grow a tree to maturity, for us it takes us 7 years, and by 15 years the pine tree is overgrown. Why is this? It is because of latitude and altitude. Latitude, we are right on the equator. When you landed at the airport where you landed, that's where the equator passes, on the southern end of the runway. Therefore, when the sun is going north, it passes over us. When it is going south, it passes over us. I hear that in other parts of the world they never see the sun. The sun never passes over them. They just see it from an angle. Now, as you know, the movement of the sun is the one which triggers rain, formation of rain. When the sun is overhead, it warms the air, and according to physics, warm air is lighter than cold air. Cold air is heavier. So when the air here is warmed by the sun, it creates a low pressure area which attracts air mass from other parts to come in. And when it comes with the rain. So that's how we end up getting rain 2 times a year. We get rain 2 times a year. Therefore, since ancient times, even without irrigation, we can grow 2 crops in a year, depending on rain-fed agriculture. In other parts of the world, I hear they only have 1 crop in a year because of, with irrigation, you can have even 3 or 4 crops, depending on what you are growing. Therefore, and altitude is that we are right on the equator, but with a high altitude. There are only 3 parts of the globe which are like that. There's a part of Kenya which is right on the equator, but with a high altitude. And I hear of a country in South America, I have never been there, but I hear of it, called Ecuador, that it is also on the equator and with a high altitude. The 3rd point on the globe, which is like that, is Uganda. Now, being on the equator and with a high altitude, it means that we have both the sun, but the sun is not too hot because of the altitude. That's how you get the temperatures outside. I don't know why these people put on air conditioning. They are just wasting your time. Outside, the temperature is normally 22 degrees, 28 degrees during the day. And in the night, it can go to 15 degrees. So it is always mild climate all the year round. Now that influences what we grow. On top of that, Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. And we have 43 billion cubic meters of fresh water per year. And that's why growing crops is easy. Uganda is part of the Nile system. The water which flows out of Uganda in South Sudan at one point on the main channel of the Nile is 36 billion cubic meters of water per annum. However, in some of the years it goes very high. Like in 1964, I think it went up to 60 billion cubic meters. So therefore, combining latitude, altitude, and water, Uganda is an ideal place for crops. But there's also the culture. We have got an ancient culture of agriculture here. In your literature, I see you talking about rice and things like that, which is good. Those are new crops. But these people also should tell you about the indigenous crops of this area, because they're actually more nutritious than some of those crops from outside. I don't know why they don't talk about it. They are selfish people. They don't tell you. Why don't you tell our friends about your crops? Because I don't see in the literature, you don't talk about it. Minister, olinetima right to mbyogerako. Balinetima bano. I am 75 years old, but I don't have blood pressure. I don't have, what do you call it, sukari, diabetes. One of the reasons, of course, I have also got good genes. But I also eat our indigenous foods, bananas, cassava, millet. Millet is one of the richest foods. I'm glad there is a Chinese type of millet, which I saw in the literature. That should be interesting. I don't know how it is different from our indigenous millet. But our indigenous millet is very, very rich. It is one of the few cereals that has got protein, carbohydrate, and iron together in one cereal. Therefore, these people have an ancient history of agriculture with those indigenous crops, which we should promote and make available to the world. For instance, I hear that I don't eat bread. One of the foods I don't eat is bread. I don't eat bread. Because I heard that bread has, what do they call it? Gluten? That it has got gluten. And that gluten is not good for the body. But we don't eat bread. I don't eat bread indigenously, so I don't eat it. We have got very good starch from bananas, from cassava, from millet. So in the cooperation, I'm very grateful with the Chinese government, they introduced rice here after independence. We were not eating rice. It was a few Indian immigrants whom we would see eating rice. And we would say, what are these people eating? That was before independence. Then after independence, the Chinese government came and started a rice scheme. Now, Director General, one of the things I want to change, I don't like this swamp rice. Because swamp rice here is dangerous. Because they grow it in the Nile tributaries. What they call swamps are actually not swamps. They are tributaries of the Nile. They are branches of the Nile. So they dry those branches, and I want to stop it. So what I like, I don't know this rice you are talking about, whether it can grow on dry land or irrigated land. I don't mind irrigation, but I don't like growing rice in the swamp. It's very dangerous for the environment. But if we can pull the water from the river and you grow the rice, then that's very good. Or grow rice using rain-fed agriculture. So therefore, because of the good climate here and the culture of the people, we can cooperate very easily on growing of crops. Cassava, maize, potatoes, fruits. You should eat those fruits of Uganda, they are very good. Once I went to Washington and they brought something they call pineapple from Hawaii. Oh, I put it in the mouth. I could feel the urea, urea, in the mouth. I said, poor these people, I wish they could come to Uganda. And I saved them from these terrible, those not so good pineapples. Then I went to Sweden when my family were living there, and they have what they call bananas, that they are from Panama or something like that. You cannot compare those bananas with you people. You should give these people bananas. They see how bananas look like, taste like. The bogoya, mbarite bogoya one. Mandi badi muleta bogoya one abantu ne baliya. Ne muri yawo mutudde butuzi. Mwambadde amakoti gemulese wano. Abantu bano bewunyisa. Now then the fisheries. The fisheries, this fresh water has a lot of fish, different from the ocean fish, livestock, cattle. We have been keeping cows for a long, long time, chicken and so on. So therefore, the agriculture is an area where we can easily cooperate. But all this needs value addition. Because for these products, to get to the market, you need value addition to prolong their life and remove what is necessary to be removed. And some of the Chinese companies are cooperating with us in that effort, which is very good. And some of the Indian companies, we've got Indian companies which are working with us. Now, finally, all these products need market, because if you produce and nobody buys, then the business will not continue. As I speak today, there's a lot of milk. The internal market is not enough, because one of the problems of Africa, which you should know, is the fragmentation of the market. Africa is a huge continent with a population which is growing of 1.3 billion. It will be 2.5 billion in the next few years. But the problem has been that the market is fragmented because of the colonial fragmentation. We are solving this through economic integration. That's why we have formed the CFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area, in order to solve the problem of market. But it is also good if we can sell to China or to third-party markets. That stimulates business. And we can produce more and more and more. But as I speak today, there's a lot of production of maize, of sugar, of milk, many products. Sometimes the price goes down because of limited market. But this will be solved if we sold more abroad or diversified the final products. Like, for instance, if you say, when you take sugar, the Ugandans are now saying sugar is too much, but what they mean is that sugar for tea the quantities are bigger than the internal market and the regional market. But then we also need sugar for industry, for mixing with beverages, which is still being imported. So that one will be sorted out. We need sugar for pharmaceuticals, for making syrups. That also will be. So broadening the spectrum of the final products also widens the market internally and regionally. But there's no doubt that we need access to the international markets as well. So I'm very glad to see that you are here. It is my pleasure to declare your conference opened. Thank you very much.
Our Chief Guest, Your Excellency, I would like now to invite the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, to guide us through the signing ceremony of memorandums of understanding. You're welcome, Mr. Pius Wakabi.
Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, as we have highlighted throughout the occasion, the FAO China South to South program has already implemented 2 successful phases of the project in Uganda, enhancing agricultural production, productivity, and profitability. In order to scale up these positive impacts, the 3rd phase of the FAO China South to South project in Uganda has been jointly formulated by FAO, Uganda, and China through their comprehensive and cooperative partnership. The project will focus on the innovative technology transfers, high-yield rice and foxtail millet production, livestock management, and the development of aquaculture value chains to improve the food security, nutrition, lives, and livelihoods of thousands of farmers. The government of Uganda has been an active contributing partner throughout all phases of the project. Along with China's contribution, the 3rd phase of the project will benefit from the substantial commitment of the government of Uganda's counterpart funding, which demonstrates their deep commitment to the achievement of the national development initiatives and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The tripartite agreement for the 3rd phase of the FAO China South to South Cooperation Program in Uganda will now be signed by the following dignitaries, Your Excellency, and delegates. On behalf of the Government of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Vincent Pambalangiti Sempija, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. Honorable Minister, could you please come and take your seat? On behalf of the Government of the Republic of China, Mr. Yi Yang, Director General of the Foreign Economic Cooperation Center of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, could you please come and take your seat? On behalf of the Food and Agriculture Organization, Dr. Abebe Haile Gabriel, FAO Assistant Director General of the Regional Office for Africa. Now could you please present the documents? Now they can exchange the documents. Another round of applause. And please come and stand for a picture with Excellency. The Chinese ambassador, could you please come and join them for a picture? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for that. Now I wish to invite the second set. We have one more memorandum of understanding on agricultural cooperation between Sichuan Province, Department of Agriculture and Rural Affairs of China, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries of the Republic of Uganda. To sign, I wish to invite the Director General.
Good news from the one who told me. Good news from Mr. Tang. No more swamp rice, dryland rice. Because what they call swamps here are actually branches of the Nile. It was they were misinformed.
Now the two dignitaries to sign this MOU, we have Director Yang Xiubin and the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Vincent Bamlanga Chisempija. The MOU. The MOU which is being signed includes establishing dialogue and visitation mechanisms to enhance mutual understanding and joint implementation of the identified key priorities of the cooperation. Actively promoting agricultural trade, facilitating access to markets of both parties through export promotion, supporting smooth implementation of Phase 3 of the China-Uganda South-to-South Cooperation Project, aimed at commercialization of targeted value chains for increased export to Chinese markets, supporting the full development of the China-Uganda agricultural Cooperation Industrial Park in Ruwero district of Uganda, establishing routine liaison and communication systems between both parties, establishing mechanisms for tracking the implementation of the MOU. Now that it is ready, they can stand up to share the document and take the picture with the President. Could you please join? We now get ready for the national anthems.
May we all stand, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the anthems in reverse order, with the East African anthem and then the Uganda national anthem. And the group photo will be handled with our protocol team at the stairs. The teams have been informed that will participate in that. Anthems, please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain standing and remain where you are until His Excellency the President and the heads of delegation walk out. So we'll remain as we are and allow our chief guest, His Excellency the President, to make his way with our heads of delegation, and they will be going for a photo opportunity the stairs, and thereafter we will all then be welcome to coffee. Coffee has been served, Ugandan coffee and Ugandan tea. We have exactly 15 minutes for coffee, starting now. So please, let's go have our coffee and then return to the room at exactly midday, where we'll begin our session 2 of today's program. Thank you very much.
This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Amesema amekaacha kwenye boti. Umesikia? Anasema njoo na begi lake pia.
The Mahale Mountains National Park in Tanzania is home to the eastern subspecies of chimpanzee. Mwiga Mambo and his family came from this area before the national park existed. Following in the footsteps of his father and uncle, Mwiga introduces humans to chimpanzees that are thriving in his ancestral home.
That is the alpha male. Don't worry. Stay where you are. All in all, that is a raining dance also. Because they've been cold. I was so sympathized with how they're shivering.
At the western tip of Tanzania lies the great Mahale ecosystem, with the Mahale Mountains National Park at its core. Covering an area of almost 20,000 kilometers, it's home to the world's largest population of the eastern subspecies of chimpanzee. Greystoke Mahale Camp on the shores of Lake Tanganyika is where Mwiga Mambo works as a chimpanzee guide. Thanks to the park's size and remoteness, the chimps are flourishing. However, only one group has been semi-habituated to humans and is regularly visited. They're known as the M group, and this is the community that Mwiga Mambo knows intimately.
Mahale, they are so brave. They are chasing snakes away. This happens 2008. I heard a big screaming. I went there quick. Once I get there, I said, oh my God, this is a real huge python. But I was relying on chimps. They smack python, slap python, and the python start to move. Some of them, they come in with the log, they drag the log, they throw on him. The python start to increase the speed. So they chase it, they chase the python until 300 meters away, and then they leave in there.